Hello, my lovelies. I know it seems kind of odd, and it's definitely not the most flattering thing for me, but we are going to go over the French braid again. And I figure this way you can actually see how I keep the ends from tangling together while I braid. Pardon for the squeakiness, it's my drum throat. But before we get in, we're going to do both a French and a Dutch braid, and I'm going to go over the handholds and how to keep your hair from tangling. Before we do any of that, because I know some of you guys can Dutch and or French but can't do the other. So just as a refresher, braid your hair both ways. This is what I mean. Separate into three. I'm not even really going to care if they're even. And braid. Either by going in the front, like this. Oh, yay, braiding. This, by the way, when we do it French style, will turn into a Dutch braid. Or go the opposite way. 3 sections. And going behind. This, by the way, is a French braid. Yeah, so as you can see, 2 ways to braid. So here's your refresher. Will also help if you start braiding here and flip over. You'll know both ways to go. All right, so the first thing I want you to do before we start French braiding is to make 2 peace signs with your hands. These are your handholds. Depending on which side you're starting from, the outer strand will be clasped in your 2 smallest fingers. The middle strand will be clasped with your thumb, and the other side will be clasped with your pointy fingers. So they're peace signs. Goes the same way for both sides. So let's get started so you can see what I'm talking about. Woohoo! So you should be tangle free. Hopefully I'm tangle free. And we're going to French braid. Now, as some of you guys know, I like to add to both sides before I braid. I do recommend this because I've never been able to do it any other way. If I braid on somebody else, I don't have to, but on my own head, it really helps. So I'm going to start with your first 3 sections, which is 1 section split into 3. Now watch. I untangle it all the way down these sections. I do this every single time. Does this mean that I braid slower? Yes, but it's neat and it stays. So we'll start with the French, which means we go over. All right. I started from the right, which means I'll add hair to the right first. Notice my grips. 2 smallest fingers, my thumb comes up for the middle, and then the outside I thread between the pointy fingers. We add hair. It is easy to add hair because you have your fingers in that thready position, separated all the way down. Now we are going to reverse the handholds, as in 2 small fingers are going to take this. Thumb comes up underneath the center. Pointy fingers take this side. Add hair. Separate all the way down. Now we braid. Right? Left. Go back to your handholds. Ta-da! All right. We add hair, separate all the way down, and yeah, my ends are being pain in the butt today apparently. It is very humid down here. That's when my hair tends to love itself. There we go. Now, readjust your handholds and add. Separate all the way down. Braid. Ta-da! Braid. And then we just continue. adding and separating. I know a lot of you guys have a problem with your ends of your hair braiding themselves. But if you do it this way, that won't happen. Yeah. So we're at the bottom of my French. Brutus, please be quiet. We have this much left. So Lucy taught me this trick. The right-hand side, we are going to add over here to our fingers that are curled under. Separate it all the way down. And the left side, we're going to add over here with our pointy fingers. This keeps you from having that weird pooch at the nape of your neck. And then, once again, from the right to the left and back and forth. So, you will notice that as I braid, I run my hand down the entire braid because this keeps the ends from braiding together. Then we can flip it over our shoulder. And like I said, since we are doing a French, that means we go behind. See? Oh. So, here is your French braid. You now have proper handholds. You now know how to keep it from, watch as I braid, from braiding itself. Just run down each strand. I don't even have to think about it, and it doesn't take that much longer to braid. Yeah. So I'm just going to tie it off there so we can go to the Dutch. So here is a regular French braid as such. And as you can see, because of Lucy's tip, there's no weird pooching. Cool, huh? What that tip basically is we are Dutch braiding that very last turn, because in a Dutch braid, you never get the weird poochiness. So I'm going to take this down, and then we're going to Dutch braid, which is exactly what we just did, only backwards. It sounds difficult. It's not. So I will be back in a sec, and we'll do that. Woohoo! Okay, so let's Dutch braid. It's almost exactly the same. Remember your peace sign handholds. All right. So we will take our first section and split it into 3. Split it all the way down. Split it into 3. Untangling all the way down the strands. All right, now instead of going over, we're going under. You just got to go under the middle section. And our handholds are the same. Little fingers, thumb, pointy fingers. Add hair. Separate. Switch your handholds. Little fingers, thumb, pointy fingers. Add hair. Separate. All the way down. All right, now remember it's Dutch, so underneath, like so. Both sides, handholds. As you can see, it's really not hard. Once you have your handholds down and you practice it a few times, you are not even going to have to think about doing it. I promise, you won't. I don't have to think about it. I'm actually thinking about it now because I'm talking to you, but when I just do it myself, I don't have to think about it. You can also see that I am not using a mirror. I find that using a mirror while trying to do these kinds of braids is not a good idea, quite frankly. Just for the simple fact that it just totally messes me up. Because your mirror image is actually doing the opposite of what you're doing. So to me, it just always seemed to be more difficult. As you can see, got the Dutch portion done. And every time I turn, I glide my hand down. So let's flip it over our shoulder. Remember our braids from the beginning? These ones will go, which way are we going? Ahead, forward, like this. So, there you go. This isn't difficult, you guys. Make sure I'm right. But yeah, so I hope that what this did is it really helped you guys, helped you clarify how to go about the French. I know some of you are still struggling, and I just want you guys to know that it took me years to learn how to French braid. It wasn't until my friend Isabel showed me that she added hair to both sides before braiding that it finally clicked. That and not adding any hair to the center strand. You don't have to. Since you add, the center strand doesn't stay the center strand, it will eventually be an outside strand. So as long as you add to the outside strands, you're fine. There we go. Yeah, but it took me years and years. I thought I would never ever be able to French braid. Once I finally got it, in about 2 weeks of doing a French braid every day, it's a piece of cake. And now I don't have to think about it. Dutch braid. Ta-da! There you go. So yeah, guys, it's not hard once you get it. And hopefully the handholds will help you. You know, when you get into more strands than that, then the handholds will change. But quite frankly, I think a 3-strand is just as pretty as any of the others. But once you get this down, then you can start adding all those extra strands. You know what I mean? Once this is second nature, the extra strands aren't very difficult at all. So any hoodles, I hope you guys found that helpful. And let me know, especially you guys that have really been struggling. Let me know how it worked. Okay, I will see you guys next time. Until then, have a great day. Bye.